welcome to my channel, my beautiful infinite beings. Today's topic is Ho'oponopono, which is a Hawaiian principle of reconciliation and forgiveness. It's often translated as make it right. And by make it right, I mean moving energy so that your frequency is elevated and cleansed.
In his book, Power by Force, Dr. David Hawkins references his scale of consciousness, wherein emotions are placed in a hierarchy of human consciousness, from lower vibrational frequencies such as shame, guilt, and fear, through higher frequencies such as joy and peace and even enlightenment. Ho'oponopono is an ancient healing modality that allows us to shift our vibrational frequency to release those lower vibrational frequencies attached to emotional patterning that no longer serves us.
Dr. Hugh Lin is also credited with cleaning or clearing the energy or healing criminally insane patients in a ward without ever actually meeting with any of them. I think that's pretty cool. So he believes that he did this by healing himself using the tool. And in healing himself, he healed the self within other people. As you already know, we're all inextricably connected as one. Everything that happens out there is really happening from the inside. The energy is reflected, and that's what we see. So it's said that when we see something we don't like in others, it's usually something that is within us that we're burying. So this tool of Ho'oponopono can be used to check in, so to speak, and clear that energy.
In an interview, Dr. Hugh Lin maintained that this clearing of energy that takes place is actually possible by going into the self, and specifically deep enough into the self to the subconscious, where the data, as he framed it, is or info that's dictating to each of us what we're seeing and or perceiving. He said that what we see is actually data and only information, and that can be cleaned by any of us. Maybe that's why when you see 7 of us together and we all look at a picture or a scene, and then later we're asked to discuss it, you get 7 different interpretations of what we see, because we see things according to whatever our own personal story is.
About repentance, forgiveness, gratitude, and love. And so it's these 4 principles that Ho'oponopono is grounded in. Dr. Lin mentioned that everything that happens actually within our surroundings is actually what we see is actually a reflection of something in us. And sometimes it's something that we need to clean on. So we can use this data that we received and clean it by first asking, who am I? And then once we notice who I am, we realize that all of the memories that we experienced even early on in childhood of anger and hate and any lower vibrational frequencies are actually coming about to kind of reveal themselves so that we can pull them up and clean on them.
The first element is repentance. And we use the phrase, I'm sorry. Now, this isn't I'm sorry because I'm some lower form or unimportant person or any of that. It is more about being sorry about what has been caused in your life because of things that you have been in control of. Because certainly we are all more than enough. So it's not about being lowering ourselves or being low. So the I'm sorry may come as a consequence of ignoring warning signs for a serious disease, for example, or not doing enough self care. Guilty. I've done that in my own life, and the results don't add up well. It could be, and I'm sorry because you know that things have been getting your attention, but you've just been too busy to care or to notice, or because you were taking care of others. All of which is wonderful on its own, but not when it requires a sacrifice of you ultimately and your most optimal uh, life path. That part is not acceptable.
With the repentive nature of things, we talk about I'm sorry. It's not an I'm sorry just to the thing that happened, but it's about the memory and the energy that we've decided this thing that happened before means. So if that thing brings you anger or hate or disdain energetically, you can clean it by saying, yes, thank you for bringing that up. So the repentive nature is, I'm sorry.
The second element, forgiveness, is about releasing what doesn't serve you. Anything like jealousy, grudges, so forth and so on, that don't allow you to be in a flow state. Remember that things like emotions attach and affect us on a cellular level. So when you refuse to forgive yourself for a harm that you've done to yourself or forgive other people, it really doesn't matter if they are deserving or if you judge them as deserving or not. None of that really matters. What matters is that you're letting go of the emotions tied to that. Because when you focus on that type of energy going out, it doesn't free you up to be your optimal best self.
The forgiveness is, please forgive me. And the gratitude is, thank you. Thank you for showing and bringing this up.
Even in some of the darkest of hours and dealings that we've had, for example, with me, the late stage cancer, that was a huge wake up call for me, allowing me to better sync up with my calling. So, my gratitude, my thank you is for the healing and for matching up with higher frequency frequencies that are more in alignment with my purpose.
And the love is, you know, I love you.
And love is such a high frequency, something like 500 plus. So when we sit in a space of love, it raises our vibration versus, let's say, shame, which is something like 20. So you can always speak to whatever needs your healing or whatever challenges you at the time. And you can say, I love you to that. Or maybe it's to your body or something else. You'll know instinctively.
Because when we can really embrace these types of things, when we can really go in deeply and realize that things constantly come up in patterns just to reveal truly what we need to work on, then we can be free from them. And who doesn't want to be free from those things that keep us down?
So the healing modality consists of 4 phrases: I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, and I love you. If you would like to take part in a Ho'oponopono meditation experience, please look for the link below in the description box.
Thank you so much for being here today, Infinite Beings. You guys rock. Smooches.
Thanks for watching, Infinite Beings. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And until next time, smooches.